Hi, I'm Frank Bravo, and welcome to Your Tech Makeover, the podcast that gives you tips and tricks to help simplify and get more out of the technology in your life. Today, we're talking about Wi-Fi and how to optimize it for your home. First, let's talk about what Wi-Fi is. Wi-Fi stands for wireless fidelity. Yeah, you know what? I had to actually look that up. It actually refers to the wireless network that allows your devices to connect to the internet without needing a physical cable. It's important to note that Wi-Fi and internet are not the same thing, even though our providers are trying to tell you that they are. Wi-Fi provides the wireless connection within your location, while the internet is the network that connects you to websites, online services, and devices worldwide. It's entirely possible to have a Wi-Fi network without having access to the internet. Just because you have Wi-Fi doesn't mean your internet is working. We've all experienced that, I'm sure. And from time to time, your devices look like they're connected, but you can't get to your email or access websites. The way internet providers have marketed their services and products have increased confusions around this, and it's one of my biggest pet peeves. Anyway, let's talk about the best practices for maximizing your Wi-Fi coverage. One of the most crucial factors is the location of your router, your Wi-Fi router. Often, when a technician from your internet provider comes to set up your service, they put the Wi-Fi router in the corner of the house. This might be convenient for them because that is where the cable comes in. But that might not be the best place for optimal coverage in your space. So where should you put it? Ideally, your main device should be located in a central location. Since routers send out signals in all directions, placing it in a corner means that a significant portion of the signal is wasted outside your home. I tell people, think of a signal coming out of the device as a sphere. By moving it to the central spot, the more area is covered by that sphere, and that will help you optimize your coverage throughout your living space. If you have a large home or multiple floors, consider either multiple access points or installing a mesh network. While I'm not a huge fan of mesh networks, they're only as good as the connection from their last device, but I've installed them for clients in the past. And they do tend to work, just not as well as having extra devices. When choosing a location, try to avoid interference from other electronics or other large metal objects. Older microwaves emit a signal that's the same wireless band as your router, so keep some distance between them. And actually, these microwaves are probably not in your home today, but it's good to remember. Additionally, bulky furnaces and furniture and obstacles like walls and refrigerators can limit the signal's reach, so keep that in mind as well. Now, let's talk about the antennas on your routers. Some routers have actual antennas that stick out, and their positions matter. Instead of pointing them all in the same direction, make them perpendicular to each other. For example, place one horizontal and another one vertical. You can also experiment with these antenna configurations to find out the most effective setup in your home. Remember that choosing the right router and optimizing its placement can improve your Wi-Fi signals and your experience exponentially. Finally, when I set up Wi-Fi networks for customers, I always set up both of the network types to use the same network name and password. This allows the devices to decide which network is best and eliminates the user from having to manually switch between them. And if there's multiple Wi-Fi access points, they all share the same username and password so that you can easily go from device to device without having to re-log into them. So is your network working to its full potential? Let me know how you're doing, and if not, feel free to contact me and I'll give you a hand. And as always, if you have ideas for topics that you'd like me to cover on this podcast, please feel free to contact me via email at frank@yourtechmakeover.com. That's it for now. Thanks for listening to Your Tech Makeover. If you haven't already, make sure you follow the Facebook page at facebook.com/yourtechmakeover. That's where I'll break down this and all the other episodes. And before I go, I wanted to remind you to subscribe to this podcast on your favorite podcast platform so that you don't miss an episode. You can also check out yourtechmakeover.com, where you can see more information about each episode and where to listen. If you want to find out more about me, please visit bravoitc.com. Until next time, I'm Frank Bravo, and this has been Your Tech Makeover.